We all love Fords, and we've got a whole selection of Fords to look at here, dating from the 1960s through to the 1990s. But I'm going to start here with this Venetian red 1979 Ford Escort RS2000. Now, this has been restored. It's back to its original specification. It's got a great set of matching Yokohama tyres. It's been MOT'd with no advisories. We've got black interior, looking absolutely beautiful in there. And there we've got those fishnet headrests. If you want a Ford Escort RS2000, this Mark II is absolutely beautiful. It's stonking, it's mirror finish, looking absolutely beautiful, correct alloy wheels. I've been working on one of these recently and they are great cars. They've got a huge following, loads of people love them. And if you are from that era that used to see these cars around, you know, these things were driving about a lot in the 1980s. Everybody wanted them then. Of course, lots of them got ragged and there were very few survivors. This one's done just over 75,000 miles. It's got an estimate of 35 to 45,000 pounds and it looks absolutely magnificent. Let's just have a look down here. Yeah, everything's looking absolutely beautiful around this droop snoot here. Really, this car has been done absolutely magnificently. Yeah, I think this is a wonderful vehicle. I would have it, and I'm not even much of a Ford fan, but what a great looking car. Great registration number as well. So if you love your 1980s Fords, we've got to be talking about Mark III Escorts. Now this is an Escort XR3. No I on the end, just an XR3. So underneath here, we have an actual carburettor. And look at that engine bay. It looks absolutely stonking. It has a bespoke tubular exhaust manifold on there. You could eat your dinner off this one. Absolutely glorious. And as for the rest of the car, it is stonking, absolutely stonking. Now, this car is understood to be the finest, or one of the finest examples absolutely available. It's been fitted with a later Ford RS1600i 5-speed gearbox, so that's you know, if you're a stickler for originality, that won't be for you. But if you're a stickler for usability, that will. It's been completely restored. It's got its sunroof. It's an original sunroof, and also fast road specification engine by Norris Motorsport, which there are bills for £4,456 there. At the moment, the estimate on this is £16,000 to £20,000. But what a great piece of 80s history. Got the correct wheels on it. Everything about this car screams out 1980s. This is what it was all about. The modern era was here. And yes, okay, so we got a carburettor sitting underneath that bonnet. But wow. I'm back in the 1980s in a car I couldn't afford back then. Beautiful. This could be yours. Take it to shows, love it, polish it, sit in the garage in a deck chair and just look at it. Move the deck chair around, enjoy different angles. Beautiful car. Could be yours. Can I interest you in a brand new 1983 Mark I Ford Fiesta? Doesn't exist? Well, this is about as close as you'll get. 6,700 miles this car has done. 6,700. Dating from 1983, so it's a relatively late Mark I. Supplied with original and complete book pack, including the service book. Totally original in every respect, undamaged inside and out. Original dealer number plates and rear window sticker, service history and previous MOT certificates, and the original service job cards from 1985 to 2001. What a stonking survivor. A Fiesta Popular Plus with only 6,700 miles. Let's take a look under the bonnet. I've just opened the door. It smells new in there as well. That's absolutely astounding. You'll have to come around here to see underneath. But there we go, unmolested. I used to, well, in fact, I passed my driving test in a 1.1L Mark 1 Fiesta. So looking down here under the bonnet, everything about this is familiar. I absolutely love it. What a great piece of preservation. Stonking. It's made me smile just looking under there because it is just so absolutely fantastically familiar. I love these cars. I've got a soft spot for them. Admittedly, I swapped mine for a Series 1 Land Rover with a bit of cash as well. I got into trouble really because actually my mum still drove the car. So I then had to end up giving her lifts. But this is the story here. What a great car. Driver's seat, absolutely rock solid and bang on. Look at that. It does smell like a new car. That dash is so familiar as well. It's got a little clock. Mine never had a clock. Wow. Original sticker in the back there. Original Knutsford Motors Limited. There we go. Plate on the back. If you're looking to buy a Ford that you want to take to shows and you want one that everybody is going to crowd around, forget the fast Fords. People will be around this like a honeypot. What a glorious car. Now here we have a 1990 Ford Escort XR3i. Now this is an XR3i with a little bit of a difference. What's different about it? It's only done 9,000 warranted miles. 9,000 miles. That is amazing. The interior, absolutely stonking, glorious. A beautiful interior. You know, looking in here, everything is absolutely beautiful. It's almost like it's new. I absolutely adore this. Now, hold on, I've got to try and remember where the catch is for this. Oh, here it is, of course. Let's have a look under the bonnet. So it's the 1990s, so we've got electric windows. Then, under the bonnet here, look, that's what you get. With only 9,000 miles on the clock, what you get is a beautifully preserved engine bay. Now, if you wanted to go to town on this and clean up every little tiny little bit in this, every little nook and cranny, you've certainly got yourself a beautiful show-stopping car. Paintwork, looking great here, unmarked. Got the sunroof option. It appears that we have the original dealer stickers on the back. There we go. Somebody has looked after and loved this car. And you could be the next owner of it. So look at the estimate. 25 to 30,000 pounds for a car as original as this. It's got its original complete book pack, original dealer number plates, window sticker and key fobs, totally unmarked in all areas, and it's a true time warp. Back to the 90s, you're there in this car. What a beauty. I don't know what you were doing in 1965, but I was dribbling out of probably both sides of my mouth and cutting teeth. I grew up in a family that owned a Mark 1 Cortina, although we just had a normal 1200 saloon. This is a 1500 estate, and this has been subject to a bare metal restoration a few years ago. And it is one of the finest, if not the finest example of its type available. And it is, let's see, estimate of 12 to 14,000 pounds. Try and get one of these cars to this standard for that sort of price. Factor in your time, factor in the heartache, and factor in all of those lovely weekends that you're going to miss out driving this thing on. Honestly, I know I restore cars, I have a business restoring cars, but if you can buy one that's as good as this for that sort of money, I'd go for this every time. It looks utterly stunning. Better, probably, I imagine, than when it left the Ford factory. The interior, absolutely so redolent of the time. Here we go. Now that is a familiar look, apart from the radio, of course. Our radio was a much older thing than that. However, just sitting here, just give that a little pull. Ah, there we are. The amount of times I've done that and been slapped on the hand, told not to mess. Brilliant. I think the first time that I ever sat behind the wheel of a car was when I was 2 or 3 behind the wheel of a Ford Cortina Mk1. It's great. And look, you've got that huge load swallowing capacity there. If you're a family person, if your family loves cars and you want something that you can all go away in and enjoy, this has got to be it. Even the dog can fit in, although I'd have the dog put through a pooch parlour just before you get it in the back there, because this car is so beautiful. You wouldn't want to mess it up. From every angle, this is a beautiful car. Let's just have a little look. Look in the back there. There we go. So you've got an aftermarket mat protecting the back here, but there you are. There's your load bay. What a great car. In 1965, the Beatles released the track, Baby You Can Drive My Car. I've got to say, maybe they were talking about this Cortina. Not that it was owned by one of the Beatles, you understand that, I'm not making that claim, okay?